Playing at home to Teolada FC, we are playing one of the best teams in our division, and I played as a holding midfielder once again, but also as captain.
Good quality.
We lost to this team 4-0 in the reverse fixture away just before Christmas in a really disappointing result and a really disappointing performance as well. Today, we lined up in a 4-3-3. I was playing in the number 6 role, and we all stepped onto the pitch knowing that we were a very different team to the team that got beaten 4-0 the last time out. I myself also felt as if I had reached a new level in my own game, but this means nothing unless you can turn up and do it again. As you can see, the way that we started the game was also one that demonstrated our level of confidence and our level of calm on the ball that we had progressed so much since the start of the season. Here, as I switch the ball across to Rowie, he finds Dale on the other side, who is again patient to find Brandon. Brandon goes back to Dale, and we just slowly build out of the back. I once again pull into that position between the two centre-backs and find Rowie on the other side, moving the ball simply, just seeing how the opposition are responding to us playing out of the back and seeing how high and how aggressive they are willing to press. As this ball goes out to Dale, he does very well to drive in, to step in, who finds Frank, tries to play a first-time pass, and Brandon does really well to pick up the pieces, recover the second ball, gets through to Olu, and he wins a free kick. That's a really good passage of play for about 30 to 40 seconds, winning a free kick in the opposition's half to finish it off. This was a match in which the tenacity of our team spirit really manifested itself on the pitch. There weren't too many periods where we felt that we controlled the game as such, but there were many moments where we battled for second balls, battled and made sure that we made it extremely difficult for the opposition to progress and did our best to try and get the ball forwards, even if it wasn't perfect or pretty. Our positive attacking play was characterised by looking for each other and linking up. Here, as Olu finds John once again after the throw. John has some lovely feet, finds Olu again, who sets the ball back into me. I switch it out wide to Dale first time, trying to switch the ball away from where the congested areas are so that we can attack down the other side. The play isn't on and it ends up going back towards Rowie, and he simply has to clear his lines, but the intentions are really, really positive as we try to be progressive and play good football. I think I found it quite interesting playing with Brandon. Both of us are players who want to get on the ball, and we want to get on it in deep positions as well, from the centre-backs and from the full-backs. As you can see him checking for the ball here in this clip. I think here I make a mistake because I can see Brandon's position, but he can't see mine. And I make the mistake of coming into the space too much and attracting the midfielders of the other team over to that side and making it really, really difficult for my teammates Frank and Dale to play out. Just a point on that midfield role. If you recognise that one of your teammates is in a really good supporting position, you don't always have to go over to help as well, because sometimes you carry pressure, you carry a defender with you. Sometimes moving away from the area that the ball is in can give more space to your teammates and now allow them to find you in a more advanced or more dangerous position later down the line. Even though I felt as if I was coming into this match with some fairly good form behind me, especially in the past couple of games where I played in that central defensive midfield role, I was fairly panicked, I was fairly rushed with my decision making, and I wasn't calm enough. I don't know if it was an aspect of the arrogance and the cockiness which I've developed and worked on to be able to receive the ball under pressure and believe in myself, spilling over a little bit into a slightly negative side. I think many times in this match, my preparation, my shoulder checks and my body position before I received the ball was not good enough. And it really made it a lot more difficult for me to play my football. For example, here, I do well to pick up the second ball after Rowie heads the ball. I settle it well, but instead of turning and finding McKeith or finding Brandon, who is in space on the left-hand side, I complicate the game and play backwards, play to a player who is already under pressure in Jean, and he ends up giving away a free kick because I've put him under that pressure. The mental side of football is super interesting, and really it's not about never making mistakes. It's about how quickly can you move on and recover from a mistake that you made. And I think that moment where I put Jean under pressure was still in my mind here as Dale plays me the ball and I'm under a little bit of pressure, but instead of taking my touch and realising that I can trust myself, I try to swipe and sweep the ball out to Jean once more on the right hand side and completely miss the ball. I think in these moments, it's wise and it's important to be able to get your foot back on the ball and get back to basics, building up your confidence once again. In this moment, I also believe I could do much better. I receive the ball from Ben, who's our goalkeeper. I take a good touch to protect the ball, but then don't check again. I could have turned myself and maybe played forwards. Nonetheless, Rowie does well to find Jean, who beats the player very smoothly and gets us out of pressure. Around halfway through the first half, we have this really good passage as Rowie is brave to drive out of the back, who finds McKeith, who carries the ball, drives into the space, and the runners make good movements. Olu gets on it and tries to be really positive from the edge of the box, but just mishits the strike and ends up going wide. Really positive though to go from back to front in about 5 seconds. In this next passage, you can see that we're doing well to put Deolada under great pressure. Their back line are having to make clearances, and as this ball comes up to me, I lose sight of it in the sun. It does hit my hand, but the ref doesn't say anything, so we play on and try to play forwards. As a result, they end up clearing the ball once again, and it's dangerous, leaving us with a 3 versus 3. I don't recover fast enough, to be completely honest with you. My response is nowhere near good enough. And in this 1v1 situation, as John takes a little stumble, he tries to regain his balance, but ends up grabbing onto the attacker's shirt as he does so, pulling him down, and the referee awards a penalty to Deolada. An extremely frustrating way to go about conceding the first goal of the game, especially after starting so brightly. Reflections on last week as a similar thing happened to Benidorm, but hey, we were playing really well and we just have to raise our heads once more and go again. I think that the way teams respond to setbacks and mistakes is super important, and we go again immediately. I win this header and find McKeith, who doesn't quite hold onto the ball, but then Brandon picks up the next second ball, and we are incredibly relentless in putting this team under pressure. We do well to recycle it. Dale tries to sweep the ball forwards to Frank, and we lose out. But again, Rory is there to clear up, plays it to me, I find Dale. Dale settles the ball and plays a little 1-2 with me. And again, we get ourselves moving, having made mistakes, having been imperfect in possession, but that's okay because our decision making to try to play forwards and be positive is still there. Our ability to respond, our willingness to go again and not cry about any mistakes that we've made is exceptional in this passage of play. Our confidence continues to grow as moments like this occur. Dale finds me from a short free kick. I find Rory. I really want the ball back here, but Rory trusts himself and backs himself to find a pass, which he picks out excellently as the fullback of the other team misreads that pass. The ball is played through to Olu, who then goes and wins a corner as the Spanish defender goes down pretty easily. Another really positive passage of play here as myself, Brandon and Jean link up. The ball finds its way back into Brandon, who I think, being critical, could switch it here across to Dale. The space is quite congested on that right-hand side, but nonetheless, we end up going back down it. And Jean plays a positive pass down the line. We don't get the first ball, but we get the second. Jean then picks up the clearance again, heads it through. We don't get the first ball, but we get the second as Jean and Stephen both battle to settle it and get it under possession. We're putting real pressure on Deolada, and Jean decides to recycle, which I think is a brilliant decision. Rory is then brave, immediately re-injecting pace into the attack by driving into the midfield, finding Olu, and his set just doesn't quite find Stephen, but Stephen responds incredibly well, gets on the second ball, and again, we're putting them under real pressure as Brandon beats his player 1v1 and wins a throw-in high into the opposition half. I personally was not very happy with the way that I responded to imperfections during the game, but here is a good example of me doing so as I settle the ball in more touches than I would like, but end up finding McKeith with a switch, who absolutely kills the ball on his first touch and then doesn't quite make the right decision as he drives towards the edge of the box. And in this final passage before the halftime whistle blows, this in a way really does summarize my own performance and my own feeling about my first half, as I do well to settle the ball, calm it down, find Frank. Great. Now I get into a good supporting position and I receive the ball back from Frank, make a good early decision to simply find Dale. Good. We're building out of the back. I'm facilitating the team play, and if I don't get on it straight away, that's okay. Brandon then empties the space as I fill it. And this touch here is poor as I play into Brandon and is obviously still on my mind as I go to receive this ball after Brandon plays it into Jean. I completely miss the first touch and my body position is flat and the ball bounces over my left foot. Yes, the initial passage of play was good, it was calm, it was consistent, but the execution and the decision making to remain in that state of focus and flow as the ball's moving, and the ability to respond to my own imperfections as a player and things not being ideal was poor. After I play that set into Brandon, I need to shake off that feeling that I made a mistake and simply go for the next one again. Nonetheless, we go in at halftime knowing that this game is there for the taking. Jean held his hands up and apologized to everyone for what he defined as a silly decision to pull back the defender, and while it was, we all agreed that it's a team game and we're playing really well and this is not the defining moment in the game. There is plenty more left in the game for us as a group. As we start the second half, in this moment again, I'm trying to respond to the second ball, get a toe on one and then get a toe on the second as I find Noah, who then recycles the play once again. Jean does really well to win a free kick. Now from the resulting free kick, I try to pick out Olu, float the ball in behind, and he does really well to draw the foul, which arguably should have been a penalty if you see how deep inside the box he is, but the referee gives a free kick on the edge. And this is a dangerous position, especially with players like Frank in our team. Frank plays a bit of cat and mouse with the keeper, making him assume that he's going to go over the ball to the near post, but instead whips it into the far corner, and the keeper is unsighted. Frank reels away after scoring and hits a lovely little milli rock, which to me was a little bit premature as the game was nowhere near done, but it gassed up the entire team and it was pretty cool for the cameras. That goal really lifted the entire team's spirits as we're now level with one of the best teams in the division. I get picked out and try to play a little 1-2 with Steven, but he does really well to respond to a poor pass and reacts to find Noah out wide, who whips in the ball. The keeper does poorly to push it out, and McKeith has a little bit of a wild swipe at the first attempt and almost puts it into the top right corner on the second. That would have meant that we were 2-1 up. In this passage, you can really see how far we've progressed as a team from the start of the season, playing with confidence, calm and trust, as Roy finds me and I find a pass out to Jean, who settles it and beats the man with his second touch. He then goes and is positive, setting the ball into Olu, shields it, McKeith gets back on side, receives the ball, stops, then starts and gets past the defender, finding a pass into Steven. His first touch isn't ideal, but he responds really well to find Dale on the opposite side, who steps in and sees Olu peeling, plays a great pass in behind, and just like that, from back to front, we create a chance. Unfortunately, just as we've been creating a bucket load of chances at their end, they get a free kick deep into our half, and the player steps up, whips it in towards the back post, and no one really deals with it, the defenders or the keeper, and it goes more or less straight in to the goal. We're 2-1 down. Now, there is still time left in the game. There is still plenty to play for at only 2-1 down, but that means nothing if you do not mark up from a second set piece in a row, and we concede another goal from a corner this time. Just like that, we're 3-1 down with about 10 minutes to go, and we're still trying to be positive. We're still trying to play our football here as Brandon recycles the ball to Rowie, who trusts me in a tight position. I take a touch and find Mo out wide, who is really effective in these 1v1 situations, getting past one and then winning the foul. Pressing high and putting the opposition teams under pressure, we managed to regain possession as I killed the ball from a long pass. I should have played this earlier out wide to Mo, but I decided to play it out to Paco, who then takes a good first touch forwards. But it's late in the game, we're rushing, and we don't manage to keep the ball under possession and keep the ball moving forwards. Finally, with maybe not even 3 minutes to go, they set up with yet another corner, and they score their fourth of the game as we don't deal with the man, we don't deal with the ball whipped in, and it's a really disappointing end to the match after having so much promise against, again, a really good team in the division. This match against Teolada was a prime example of how teams are successful. Yes, we dominated possession, yes, we probably created the better chances, but we didn't mark up from set pieces, and they capitalised on their chances while we did not. Winning or losing is not fair. You do not get a medal for doing your best, and you do not get anything for trying as hard as you can. Winning only comes to those who make it happen. That is something that we did not do in this game, and it's something that I do not feel like I did anywhere near as much as I should have done in my own performance. I was hurried, I was rushed, I was nowhere near as calm and tranquil on the ball as I was 2 weeks ago against Calp on the same pitch in the same position. But this is football and this is life. You are never going to repeat the same moments and have exactly the same performance, so you have to adapt to whatever is in front of you. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and comment down below, letting me know how you adapt to those situations in matches which aren't quite as perfect as you would hope. With this in mind, ballers, I hope you have a great week working on your own craft, getting closer to your own goals, and I hope you find a way to adapt to whatever situations life might throw at you. And remember, ballers find a way.